What's up, everybody? My name's Sebastian Bleak, and we are off the clock. Today we got the homie, Mr. Carlos Garro, in the building. What's up, bro?
How you doing?
Hey, there
I'm
he
fine.
is. I can hear you. Everything
You know,
worked great.
Yeah, we have a third volcano in explosion today. Yeah, now we have 3 active volcanoes in my
brother.
country.
You guys are
Yeah.
setting it off over there, man.
I hope they don't explode.
Oh, man, and
we
I'm over
finish
here.
land-
We're over here in Los Angeles complaining that the weather went down to 65 degrees today. So
No. You know, this is the first world problem.
First world problem. No, you're right, man. You're right.
But we are okay right now. Very hot as usual, but we are okay right now.
So what's it like? Is there ash all over the place? Because when I was there,
No,
it was like fog.
it's far away from San Jose,
Uh-huh.
but it really explodes and sends some hot material down the hill, you know, vapor and some rocks. But it's I will send you pictures.
I just hope that the paint job on your Bentley's okay. I don't want your Bentley getting messed up.
Oh man, this is a funny story because I just discovered this guy lives around here. Haifu has this expensive Bentley SUV. It costs like a regular price in USA is like $300,000.
Dang, dude.
Stock, all right? Just the stock version.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
If
great.
you add the taxes and everything that you have to pay to import this kind of car here in my country, is at least $500,000.
Dang, that's bananas, dude. That's
Yeah.
bananas.
You know, it's great because you can go from 0 to 5 miles per hour in the rush hour.
You can't go nowhere, right?
It doesn't make a difference here. Have this expensive car
Yeah.
with the big engine. You don't have space to run this car here. So
Hey, but it looks nice sitting still, right?
I think so. It's a luxury car. All the leather and all the dashes made it by hand.
Dude, I'm so lame that I was just like, oh, it's a cool color. I like the color. I was
No.
I like the color. The color's cool.
I don't like this color in particular.
It's like root beer. It looks like root beer. It's cool.
It's some kind of it's something more like iced tea.
There you go, like iced tea. Yep.
Yeah. But okay,
That's all good.
people have different tastes and different ways to spend the money.
Yeah. I just want to get some
That's-
tacos, bro. That's all
I
want.
don't understand, but that's okay.
I spend my money on tacos, bro.
Yeah.
Tacos.
Can you imagine how many tacos you can buy with $500,000?
Yeah, we can have a party, bro. We can have a party.
Yeah. Maybe we can have a big party with
I'll
that.
fly you out.
Okay.
But all right, what's up, man? You ready to teach me some stuff about the erasers in Illustrator?
Erasers in Illustrator. I have a blast from the past also.
Oh, that's awesome, man. So what's up?
Because these erasers. Okay, let me share my screen.
Yeah, go
let
for
me
it.
know.
Share your screen.
Let me know when we are up.
I think it's coming.
Sorry
I
for
think it's
my
coming.
messy desktop, but
And there we go.
we have to spend some time working and making some jokes. And so you thank God there's a Photoshop and Illustrator around here, so you can create some jokes for your partners.
Yeah. Oh, there's the Bentley.
I
I see the Bentley.
There's the Bentley. Yeah, look at this.
All right, cool. Since we're talking about the Bentley, you get to actually see what we're talking about.
And you know, this is exactly the car. This is the right color. And for at the beginning, I think was a joke because maybe some guy take a Chinese card and make some. But
Oh
this,
yeah. I know what you mean.
This is the real stuff, man.
Like when people make their own Bentleys sometimes.
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You know, you put that old Chinese card, and then you go to make a 3D printing of all the parts.
Nah, man.
But this is the card that I'm talking in my Facebook page yesterday. Makes a bunch of jokes, and the funny part is I have a very good friend who have a print shop specialized in photography.
Okay.
And the guy who owns this card is a client of this friend of mine.
Right on.
So it's the real stuff.
Dude, and then two things that I thought of. One is, I don't know if you've seen them, but a lot of times I'll see a car like this wrapped with chrome or gold or some kind of mirrored look. Like it looks like a chrome car, like a all metal car. I've seen that. And the other thing I think about is, you know, my folks, they're from Mexico, Ciudad Guzman or whatever. Whenever we see a car like that in a little town, dude, first thing we think is they got some little narco action going on over there.
Yeah, it's a lord of mafia. But no. This is actually a rich guy. To see with Mr. El Chapo.
Okay.
To see with Caro Quintero and you know, bad hombres. This is the real bad hombres in there.
Okay. All right, right on.
But today we don't talk about Photoshop and Bentleys.
Okay.
We need to jump into Illustrator.
Erasing.
The eraser.
All right,
you see, I changed my interface for Illustrator because it's the better way to teach in the university, so my students don't go to sleep.
I know the projector, dude. Like
the projector. I see the soccer sleeping in my class.
No, you're so right. Hannah brought that up. She was the teacher and I was assisting her. And yeah, she brought that up. She asked them, like, you know, can you guys see this okay? And she brightened it up it brightens up the room and everything. You're right.
Yeah. So everybody can see the tools and everything. Yeah. All right.
Oh, and real quick, before you get started, the reason we're jumping into eraser talk today is because I'm familiar with the eraser tool, but up until a couple weeks ago, I had never heard of the path eraser tool. So I came to the expert. Shout out to Carlos. Thanks for doing this for me. And he's about to take me to school and put me on game on how these tools work. So there you go, bro. It's all yours.
Teaching with Uncle Carlos. Okay. We have 2 erasers in Illustrator. That's the question, right?
Yep.
Maybe you're familiar with the last one that it says who actually came in company with the blob brush.
Yeah.
Okay. But what is the past what is the past from the blob brush? The blob brush came when Adobe buys Macromedia. So it came with do you remember an old program called Flash?
Yeah. So it was part of Flash. That's cool.
Flash. Okay. Actually, the story of Flash is so funny because the guy who invented Flash think about as an animation tool. They think or they develop Flash as a drawing software.
I didn't think of it like that. I've always thought of it just as an animation. So when you said the blob brush was part of it, it threw me off because I'm like, that's a drawing tool.
The story with Flash is they try to create they create a software. I think they call Future Splash, which is actually a drawing application, but it's a vector drawing application for starters. Okay, that's why when you launch, let me open Animate right here, which is actually the reincarnation of Flash.
Hey.
Okay, and the beginning,
that's beautiful artwork.
Yeah, by the way, it looks like the artwork that John made, right?
It makes me think of like Collider Scribe or
something
Vector
like
Scribe.
That's right. Okay, and it transformed into animation software. Uh, but in the beginning, you can create artwork. Even I know some guys who create illustration right here in Flash. Okay, and that time was Flash. Right now it called Animate. So in this program, you have a drawing tools. Actually, after Adobe buys Micromedia, they include the pen tool as we know, right?
Yeah.
But in the beginning, we have a bunch of paint tools, which is actually a paint tool, but is a vector one. It's not a bitmap.
Not bitmap. All right, that's cool.
Not
That's
bit-
cool. Playing with vectors, I like it.
In Flash. Sorry, I'm talking about Flash because
No, actually,
part of
I was just gonna say that real quick. Dude, that's so cool. We're getting a bonus history lesson on Flash too. I'm with it, man. I'm with it.
Yeah. That was the only program that you actually have an eraser when you can erase the vector as it, like in the normal life. So this option wasn't available in Illustrator. But after Micromedia and Adobe going together, they translate the cross technologies, right?
Yeah.
They move some of the technologies that you can find right here in the drawing.
Merge.
Yeah, drawing methods in Flash. They translate into Illustrator and vice versa, because you actually have the pen tool. You know how to use the pen tool?
Yeah, a little bit.
Illustrator, okay? It's exactly the same right here in Animate, which is actually Flash in the beginning, okay? So this is a short story about why we have two erasers in Illustrator, because at the beginning we have no erasers in Illustrator except for this one, which is actually the motive of your question, right? The path eraser tool.
So the path eraser tool has been around longer than the eraser tool.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Because it's always in a tandem with the pencil tool.
Nice.
Okay. I'm not super fan of the pencil tool. But this is the difference between these two erasers. Okay. The path eraser tool let you erase when you are using, or for this example, I will use the pen tool. Let me check the options. I hit the enter key just to keep select the object that I draw.
All right, cool.
Exactly. Okay, I don't move any options right here, but let me choose a different color. I'm going to bright color, right? Today.
Right. Yep.
So you know how to use this tool, right?
Yep.
But actually, the path eraser tool works in conjunction with the pen tool and let you erase. Let me grab the tool and zoom a little bit. It let you erase portions of your path.
All right. Oh, and I was gonna ask you. It leaves you with an open path then.
Okay. Let me.
So this is almost like what I'm thinking of is like you know how we have the extend path tool in Vector Scribe. So this is like we're
You can
retracting.
erase.
It's like going backwards, like eating the path away. Okay. Oh, and you could separate pieces too. Okay.
Yeah, you can separate pieces.
When you
I don't know
separate
if
them, are they grouped?
Sorry.
When you separate, like right there, you separated them. Are they in a group, or are they independent objects now?
It
Independent.
separate the thing actually.
Cool.
That's why we have in the pencil stuff right here, we have the join tool, which actually let you continue this path and join.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Okay,
That's pretty cool.
that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
I'm not super fan of the pencil tool
Right.
because we can make better stuff with dynamic sketch.
Well,
but
yeah, no, you're totally right. But that stack, probably the pencil tool is the one that I use more out of any of the other ones. I've
Yeah,
never used a path eraser.
and we have the smooth tool.
Uh-huh.
If we need to smooth this kind of artwork.
Yeah. I liked it when the smooth tool was built into the pencil tool before. I used to like that.
You see, you can smooth and I'm not sure. Yeah, you can move. You can make more accurate or more smooth, right?
Yeah, and I like this because it's like you're playing with clay almost. It feels like you're just molding your shapes a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm still not a fan of the join tool, and I still haven't fully adapted the shaper tool. I'm gonna give the shaper tool another chance, but I'm not sold yet.
I think this one right here. Okay. Maybe have some future. I don't know if they plan to update how it works. But I don't know if we are so old, but we prefer to build the shapes
I'd rather just build
different,
the shape I want to build, yeah.
a different way. Okay.
What I'm thinking
So
of doing,
that's
about
the old eraser.
For
Sorry.
for the shaper tool, real quick. I'm thinking of one day just like tracing some logos with it, just so I could, try to get used to it and see what it does. But
I think the intention is to simplify the creation of the stuff without being so technical, right?
Right.
I don't like how you can this process makes some stuff weird, because this object at the end is some kind of live paint object, something like that. You see, it's a live paint object.
Yep.
Actually, so I think it needs some improvement.
Yep.
Right now, but this is a very cool tool, especially for beginners. Because I think we can create more complex objects using the standard tools, right?
Exactly.
So after Flash became an Adobe part of the family,
Yeah.
After that, Adobe includes the block brush into Illustrator. Okay, this is one of the most used tool for me, because I use a lot of block brush when I creating my mandalas.
Yeah.
So I use in conjunction with Mirror Me to create some mandalas, and this is one of my favorite tools.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Okay, so you double click right here, and you can create a different shape of the brush. Okay, you can increase the size. We have some issues that I'm then talking in a few moments. For example, I want to create a fixed size of 10 pixels or points.
Right.
I prefer, it depends of what how complex I want the path. So I move to the left or to the right.
Okay.
If you keep in the accurate the accurate side, you increase the number of anchor points.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And if you go into the smooth, you decrease the amount of anchor points, but have less precise drawing. All right.
Got you.
Okay, and this is how it works. It lets you create, and the color, the resulting color is from your stroke color,
That's
activate
weird.
into tool. Okay.
That was always
So
weird to me.
yeah, so you can draw exactly like you draw in Flash in the early years. Because if you see the preview of this, you see a complete path.
Yep.
Okay. For example, here the issue is you have too many anchor points right here.
And it's an expanded path. It's actually like an object, so
Yeah.
it's harder to edit.
If we check right here, is a compound path already.
Yep.
And this is interesting because if you, for example, you continue draw with a different color. For example, I choose this orange over here. Grab the tool again, and you start drawing. Okay. It's a different shape.
Yeah.
We agree with that.
Yep.
But if I select in this case, the red that I choose before, and keep drawing on top, this is not the same
That's a
red.
different red. Yeah.
It's a different red. Okay, so this is over here. So I grab okay.
Yep.
If I do this, oh, what happened here? So the same red. Let me see. Okay. Let's start again. Oop. Unselect the thingy right here. Okay. It's supposed to be joined. If I move on top of this, let me see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it goes.
Okay, but if I I make a transition like this. Look at this.
Now it's separate.
It's separate. Okay, but with this tool, it came the eraser tool. You know, finally we have an eraser that erases like in the normal life. So yeah, you pass the erase on top of these objects, and the result is this.
Yep.
Eliminate all the paths. So it came in conjunction with the blob brush. There are two tools to make the same, but in the other way around, right?
Yeah. One's laying down the paths, and the other one's cleaning them up, like removing them.
Exactly. So this is an important tool for creating some vectors. Some of artists that create illustration use this tool the most. Actually, if you there are some issues with this tool that you need to take care if you're planning using in your workflow. For example, I make this path and you see smooth.
Right.
But if you decrease the size of the blob brush below 4 points, or actually equals or below 4 points,
okay,
you have this issue. Look at this. You see how it deformed the joints?
Yeah.
And look, if I decrease to a 3 point, let me zoom out a little bit. Look at this.
Oh,
You see?
Yeah,
This
that's
joint?
weird. Yeah.
If you want to create something like that, it's hard sometimes. Oh, look, it works.
Yeah, that one worked.
Yeah, but in the regular stuff doesn't work. Look at this.
Yeah.
This is, and some of the programmers, explain me how this works and how they don't get the right result if you decrease this size. Actually, the shape of the circle works like a, look at this, works like a template who follows the movement of your mouse. So it's not possible to be exactly in the same position always.
Oh wow.
For a mathematical reason that I can so hard. If you want to create some artwork using a blob brush or something similar,
Right.
I recommend you to use, instead of using the blob brush for this particular case, if the width of your path is less than 4 points, I highly recommend you to use a standard stroke.
Okay.
Because for example, you can create, if you want a round cap,
Yeah.
you can do it right here, right?
Right.
So you can create exactly the same stroke using the pen tool, or in this case I'm using dynamic sketch, and you get the best results for that particular workflow without having these bites.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
respecting those corners.
Yeah. So now you know, if you
Yeah.
need to use the blob brush, don't go below 4 points, because you can get unexpected results. For larger sizes, it works okay, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So you can play around. For example, with if you have a Wacom tablet, you can use the pressure.
That's my favorite thing about the blob brush. That's mainly why I use it, because it has that pressure sensitivity.
And you can set the variation below and from 0 to the maximum width of your or the side that you established in the beginning.
Right.
So you can, it depends on the pressure that you have on your tablet, right here. You can get beautiful results with that. So only you have to do is keep in mind how it works, and practice a little bit with your Wacom.
Right.
You know, I spent this week creating some artwork. You know, we're cooking some stuff over here.
Yep.
Now I need to go to calisthenics to create something like that.
Yep.
You know, like if I going to a school.
Yeah.
So the goal here that I want to create is simulate the lettering stuff. You know, the handmade lettering with the pen brush. So you can create it. I remember my teacher tell me, thin lines to the up, fat lines down.
Nice.
Man, and sometimes you get in trouble. You forget when it's so you need to practice. That's all.
Absolutely.
It's 90% transpiration and 10% inspiration.
That's dope.
So this is actually how the erasers work. Before that, we have no eraser. You need to cut your path, for example, using the scissor tool.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, you need to use the scissor tool, separate the thing, and then this one right here. Now we have this one, the knife tool.
A knife tool.
Yeah, but at the beginning we have the scissor tool, so you need to hit exactly in the anchor point to cut in this case, the path in 2 halves.
Yeah.
Right here, and then there's always the join command
J
over here. But before that, you know, you need to, before I can't remember the exact version. If you need to join that, the first thing you need to do is average the position of both anchor points to join.
Wow.
Otherwise, they give you an error. But right now, it joined whatever the position is, right?
Got you.
Yeah. But years ago, you need to average the position of both anchor points to make the joint. And the knife is the most funny tool because you can cut the vector just using. Oh, what happened? Am I something wrong?
I don't know.
Oh. Tell me this is not another bug.
I
I'm
don't know,
supposed
man.
to work that way, right?
I think so.
Yep. I never use this tool, you know?
I probably used it once. There it goes.
You see that?
Yep.
Let me see if only works if you have a fill.
I think maybe just on fills only.
Yeah. Yeah. That's new for me, you know?
Yeah, I didn't realize, man. There it is.
Yes, there it is. Only works if you have a fill. But some of my friends use this to separate. For example, if we create some cartoon, they use this tool to separate the pieces of the. I don't know why they have this loose, and you need to select the thing that you need to cut.
Yeah.
It's great to create puzzles, right?
Yeah.
Look at this. This is some kind of how do you call in Pathfinder?
Divide.
Divide or something like that. Yep. This one right here, divide. It's similar. So, but you need to draw on top of the object. So that's the difference between the both erasers.
That's cool. Right on, bro. Nah, man, I appreciate it. It makes sense to me now. One of them's definitely gonna be a fill.
In the real life, we never use this one. The path eraser tool, I only use when I have to teach this part of Illustrator. But in my regular workflow, I never use it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've never used it. I don't know. I just like learning about it. I was like, what is this tool? So I got to figure it out. And so all right, so that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk to you about for Illustrator. But I wanted to ask you, you know, just in case you were up for it, we were talking about Photoshop filters last night. Did you want to talk about that at all a little bit?
Oh yeah, I have. I have a lesson to teach you about the. Let me look for my assets over here. Let me look for. I don't know if I have these lessons right here in my computer. Oh man.
So I'll give you a list of some of the effects I was playing with. So latest and greatest, like as far as new ones go, I was thinking of the blur gallery.
We can use the Bentley as an example.
Yeah. Oil paint filter, render flame, render tree, and shake reduction. For most commonly used filters, like the ones that you're going to use like all the time for retouching and stuff like that, I put liquify, camera raw, the blurs, you know, Gaussian blur, motion blur, and that. High pass and sharp mask. And for
high pass and on sharp mask.
Yeah, and then for oldies but goodies, you know, ones that have been around for a while but they're really great, it's going to be minimum and maximum. Color halftones, the filter gallery, render clouds, noise, and one of the distorts. I haven't decided which one yet, but I'll put one of the distorts.
You know, these distort filters, I think, doesn't change since version 3 of Photoshop.
And so that's why I got them in the oldies but goodies catalog. See, so like Displace is way different than the rest of them. The other ones seem to like do a specific shape or something like that, but displace is completely
it's the
different.
same. You know, I let me look for an examples that when I use these filters, the oldies but goodies.
Yeah.
Because in my early years, I use a lot of these examples to create some weird mixes of photograph. Let me look for that.
So like most of the ones in the distort, they're pretty much the same except for like displace. Displace, you kind of have to bring in another image and play with it a little bit differently than the other ones. You kind of like, you see what you get and you kind of add more of the effect or less of the effect.
Yeah. You know, I don't have this right here in this computer. I need to pull out of my backup, but I promise for the next week we have a Photoshop session, right?
Yeah.
For next week, I can show you how I use some of these filters to create some artwork, and some of them to make selections.
Oh, that's awesome.
Or create, or for example, for the retouching part, how to use the sharpen, the on-char mask.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that one. That one's a big deal to me. I really want to cover that one with you.
Okay, let me look for an example. Let me look to a couple of masterpieces of the art. So that let me explain you that in the most easy way.
All right, now that sounds cool. What I'm doing right now, Carlos, is that list of filters that I had. I'm just gonna put that in our shared Creative Cloud.
And I share Creative Cloud space.
Yeah. And
I want to show you a couple of artworks from two famous painters.
Was that Berman Roy?
Yeah, I just downloading a couple of artworks that I want to show you,
cool.
For you to understand how the on-char mask works.
Okay, cool.
Let me download these babies right here. Okay.
Man, I'm still jealous of your glasses, bro. You got some super cool glasses.
Yeah, because it's a Hugo Boss.
Those things are awesome.
And you know you are a super fan of Hugo Boss. Okay, maybe you know this lady, right?
Yep. Shout out to Lisa, Miss Lisa.
Miss Lisa. You know, the girl with the suspicious smile.
Yep.
You know, this is from Leonardo da Vinci, right?
Yep.
People who see this artwork
Smart
live,
man, dude. All his inventions are crazy.
Yeah, super smart guy, and he used a technique to paint, who called difuminato.
All right.
Okay, it's some I don't know how to translate into English, or some kind of diffuse or feathering, because if you see this artwork close, of course that the picture is kind of damaged, but people who see this artwork in Paris, it's actually a small piece of artwork, but it looked like unfocused.
Yeah. It's
No?
Is it the diffuse glow?
Yeah, it's some kind of diffuse glow, and you can see details because of the technique that Leonardo used. Make the borders of the shapes diffuse.
Man, let me tell you, bro. When it was like Photoshop 7 or something like that, I would put diffuse glow on all these girls' pictures, and they would love it because it would smooth out like all their skin. Like,
Okay, this is okay. This is, I think this is clear, right?
Yep.
So people who see this artwork alive, tell this is some kind of unfocus, you know,
Yeah.
because of the technique that Leonardo used. But there is another painter. He's actually a Greek guy who calls. It's a difficult name. Let me see. He calls actually Domenikos Theotokopoulos. Theotokopoulos.
Okay.
Who called El Greco, because he spent most of the life in Spain. So he called El Greco, who actually is the Greek guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And he created this technique. It's actually a beautiful technique who let you discover the shapes of the. Let me grab another picture right here.
So like this image to me in Greco looks like they use the filter gallery to make it.
Okay, but look at this. Let me download another picture right here for you, because I think this is important. This is a public domain images, so because they are so old. Okay.
I like public domain images.
Okay, look at this. This is an old paint from, I don't know, 4 centuries ago.
Man.
And this guy created this technique who actually knows or show you every single part of the shapes and the forms of the bodies, and you see some interesting stuff to define the shape. For example, in this case, the hand of this, I think this is Jesus Christ, right? He paints with black in the outside and some kind of white in the inside. So you have this contrast between the two shapes, the robe and the hand. So it looks like
it's like a contact shadow.
Yeah, you looked at all the images and you see all in focus.
Yeah.
Absolutely, the different way that Leonardo paints.
Yep.
You see this other photo right here. You can see everybody is in focus.
Yeah, yeah.
Look how this guy defined the shapes using this technique to painting with black in some places and white in another places.
Yeah.
This technique to increase the contrast let you think that the picture is on focus. So this is how Max works.
Oh, okay.
Create this illusion for you. So let me show you. Now you know the example. Let me look for one of my examples here in my Creative Cloud library. Let me grab this girl over here. I think this is a good example. Even if this this is sharp. Let me see this over here. Okay, we have this better. This is a good picture, right? It's already in focus. Yeah. But I want to show you how this method works.
Okay.
Okay, because actually who the Charmat makes is something like that. It detects the shapes of the photo and increase the contrast between the two colors. Okay.
Okay.
So now that way you can see more focus. Look at this. Let me look for the lady over here. Let's close the Bentley because we don't need expensive car anymore. Okay, let's take a look on this side of the photo. All right.
All right.
So let me apply the filter. Okay, let me create a smart filter over here, and then apply the on-chart mask. On-chart mask actually who create is an unfocused version of the photo, and then put on top another version in high pass mode with different radius. Okay. Look at this. I have an example right here. I have a 100% in my preview, and look at the amount. Okay, let me return to the values. I can't remember the standard values over here. Supposed to, I don't know why it moved to 500, but it's a different technique. I don't know. I think it's 100, 1, and threshold 0. I can't remember the exact amounts right here, but look how it works. Let me zoom in a little bit. If you increase the radius, actually what you are doing is making this line of white or black more thicker.
Yeah, it's thicker. Yeah.
So if you let's check. If I move to a string value, it's super thicker, right?
Yeah. Hey, but dude, the name throws me off. If we're making things sharper, why are we using unsharp mask?
Now that's the thing, because it actually make this thing. It grab a version of this photo. Let me create some here, and use the high pass. This value is actually the width of the line that I told you before. Okay, so if I, for example, hit the 2 radius over here, look the result of this.
These are the Greco lines.
Yeah, that's the Greco lines, and you see this is, I think this is actually the 50% gray over here. So if you change the blending mode,
whatever is 50% gray goes invisible, right?
Exactly. Actually, the one who create contrast. All right. For example, if you add overlay, look at this. Let me turn on and off the. You see, but actually, the on-chart mask create this pass in 2 ways. It create the mask that let you wrap the lines, the Greco lines, between that. But now you can simulate this. Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong double click right here.
You like the Greco lines, though, right, bro?
Right. Yeah. Let me increase the size of that. Look at the result. It's exactly the same result that if we have on-chart mask with this baby right here, with that string radius. Okay, the amount is how much the contrast is.
Got you.
In this case, if you are using high values, maybe somebody likes this effect for different purposes. Okay. Sometimes you can increase to a high levels of on-chart mask if you are printing, for example, in newspaper.
Yeah.
You can increase a little bit more than the formula. Okay. There is a formula who tell you how much on-chart mask do you want to add, you need to add to a photo. Forget about it. Because I always prefer to see. Right?
I feel you.
So let me tell you how it works. So the amount is how much is this contrast. Okay. In a better explanation, how dark is the dark and how white is the highlights.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
The radius is the width of these lines, the Greco lines. And For example, I can create. Let me increase the values for just for the example. Okay. What about the threshold? The threshold minimize or optimize this contrast. If I move to the right, I decrease the levels of grade that affects the filter. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because we're going based off of a luminance value, pretty much, right?
Exactly.
Oh, okay, cool. So it's using the luminance value as a threshold, and then
if the threshold is 0, all of the values of grade affect the photo below. If the threshold is in the maximum level, nothing happens.
Then nothing happens.
Yeah, it works similar like the blend if sliders. Remember?
Yeah.
Something like that. So it depends on your workflow. You need to increase or decrease this, keeping the standard values of that to not oversharp your photo.
Right. Okay. That looks crazy.
Oh man, you need to go to the. Okay. See, this is an Adobe stock photo, but needs some retouching. Okay, because this poor girl is eating.
She's eating her hair.
His hair, exactly. So there are some methods that you can increase that, because in this particular case, if I apply this on sharp mask, it applies to all the channels in the exact same amount.
Right.
Some of the superpower user tips and tricks that we use years ago. Now I already don't make so much for newspaper, but in my early years, we need to create some artwork for the newspaper.
Okay.
So we make this trick. After we finish all the retouching part and remove all the blemishes and correct, for example, in this case, these loose hairs. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, right? After you finish that in RGB mode, we create a temporary file in lab color. Okay. Let me rasterize that just for the example. Okay.
All right.
The good part of lab color is you have, I think we're already talking about this. You have the detail in the separate channel.
Yeah.
And the colors. So it lets you add more sharpen than the standard method, because you only affect the.
I remember you saying that.
The lightness or the detail of this photo. I don't know why it moved to 500. But you get better results because you don't create some weird stuff with the colors over there.
Yeah, you're just dealing with the detail or lightness.
Another method is, for example, if you already finished that, and for example, you're working for newspapers, so you need to know that you already have to set up your color settings in Adobe Bridge for this particular workflow. Okay. Let me keep in this. This is North America general purpose. It works in everything. It's supposed to be. Okay. If you need to go to a super high quality print shop, you need to ask for the preference that they use.
Right.
To not to fail. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it depends of the print material that you are planning to use, or the paper. All the settings are different, and Photoshop take care of that, and Illustrator and InDesign and everything. But in Photoshop, it's easier to understand.
Yeah.
So if for example, I need to move this photo to CMYK for a print shop I want to print some posters, for example,
Mm-hmm.
in Kuche paper. So I just go to edit,
Okay.
move to convert to profile to make the correct conversion from this working space. Right now I'm working in lab color, but it doesn't matter right now. I select lab color. We only have one lab color,
Okay.
you know, because I already have this in lab color. And then I want to move to, oh, sorry, I need to move to another profile. This is the source, this is the destination.
Gotcha. Yeah.
For example, I need to go to print. My provider use these standards. For example, US web code swap version
Swap v2.
Yeah. So I grab this. I can see the difference.
Ah.
You see?
Yeah.
One. This is important. Don't trust what you see in your monitor.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah,
Good point.
because the only thing that you can trust in the monitor is you have a correct environment with the proper set of light, and you have your monitor calibrated.
Calibrated. Yep.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's a lie.
Yep.
Everything is a lie.
Everything's a lie. Everything you see is a lie.
That's right. Because this is most of the problem that the beginners have.
Absolutely.
I see some weird colors and good colors in my computer, but when I go to the print shop, it doesn't. Especially in this era with this super high, duper retina display, super glossy monitor, is a lie. Everything is a lie. That's right. So after you convert your photo to the right profile, already you have your channels already. And one of the things that we use for the newspaper is go to the most weak channel of the photo. So for example, this photo has a predominant red, right?
Yep.
So we need to go to the opposite of the red. In this case,
Cyan. Yeah, cool, man.
So select the cyan, and just this is the you know the cherry on the pipe, yeah.
All right, let's see.
After that, you can apply again an char mask
All right.
on the weakest channel of your photo. So let me zoom a little bit here in the eye. Let me increase the size a little bit, more than the real one, because for you to see, look how the detail improved.
That's crazy.
Without touching the another channels.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can see here clearly the Greco lines.
Yep, Greco lines.
I don't know. I think we can. Oh yeah. Look at this. Oh no.
You can't
I want to. I there are some filters when you can increase the size of this preview.
Yeah.
But this is a brief of how this thing works.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Okay. I can share you some info about my teachers in this particular matter, how it works with several different or with different color spaces, and how to how to improve the look of the photo using the charm mask right here. Some people use the high pass. Now you know how to use the high pass, right?
Right on. Yeah. No, that's cool, man. That's the best breakdown I've seen of that so far.
And you have a bless from Jesus. The Greco Jesus.
Yep. But no, that's cool, man. And so, like I was telling you before, I saved you that list on our shared folder, and I highlighted the ones that that I probably
I
know the
have
most
I have a
from.
lot of examples for the creating part, the creative part, uh, and I can share with you how I use some of these filters, those goodies and all these and everything, uh, to create some effects.
All right, cool.
Uh, how avoid some of this because
Yep.
they are so old. I don't know what, for example, this. There are some stuff right here. For example, this pointies. Man, I don't see the.
You know, on Linda, this guy made a pretty cool effect using that. What he did was he added it to an astronaut,
Yep.
and he added motion blur to them, so it made it look like they were being transported.
Oh, cool.
So it was
You know,
motion blur with point.
I know a tip. For example, if you one of the just to finish. Look,
Yeah, cool. Go for it.
let me increase the size of this. You know, in the 80s, we need to create some crazy background, crazy color background. So we start with the most common render clouds.
Clouds, yep. That was one of the first ones I jumped into, that's for sure.
Okay? But then, look at this. We jump into the adjustments. I can add a curve right here. Let me move the properties over here. And then I want to start playing around with the curves, but I want to use this pencil over here in the different channels. Look at this.
Whoa.
So you can create, let me turn on my Wacom tablet. Wake up, little Susie.
Dude, because I used to use render clouds for everything, man.
Look at this. Even after you create these weird lines, you jump, for example, into this, and you smooth the curves. Jump again to the. So you can play around with this.
Yep.
You can increase your contrast over here. And then you create a very weird
Yeah.
alien
Background.
crazy background. So and after that you can add more effects. For example, Joe, let me create a flattened layer of that, and then go to other render, lighting effects.
Oh yeah.
And then you can use, let me know if I remember where it is, texture, the green channel, and then use another light here instead of spot. Let me see, infinite light. No, spot, it works fine. So you can move this light, decrease the intensity a little bit, and go to the texture and create some high
Whoa.
level. Let me increase the size of that.
It looks like a map now.
It's a Minecraft map.
Yeah. That actually looks pretty cool, bro.
Yeah. But it's just clouds, right?
Yeah, it looks like a world now. That actually looks pretty cool, dude. I was ready to make fun of you, but nah, that looks pretty cool.
I know. And sometimes we use these other render fibers to create. I use fibers a lot to create. You don't believe it. To create masks.
What?
Render fibers. You know, some of the texture that we create for
I was
Texturino,
gonna say, yeah, it reminds me of Texturino.
I add a little bit of fibers to to create
Got
for the fabrics. Remember the fabric that we create for the
Pelon?
t-shirt workflow?
Dude, I just was showing somebody that. Dude, that's why I sent you that message saying, dude, we were talking about you all day at lunch. Because all those textures are awesome, man. I was having lunch with a fashion designer and she loved them. So thanks for
Ah,
all
yeah,
that, man.
your friend. How do you call your name? The
So
name of
Heidi.
this Heidi.
Yeah,
Heidi.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's
And you
so
know,
Heidi.
do you remember my friend Kitty? Kitty is a girl from Guatemala.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Actually, have a blog, an artist reviewing in the Astute blog.
Yeah.
Now she's creating some new stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. After she finished, I want to invite her uh, to the Twitch session
That'll be cool.
to her to show us how she works.
That'd be great.
She's so neat. She's so neat in the artwork. Even only have 2 icons in the dock. It's absolutely different than me.
Oh,
But that's
man.
cool. That's
Well,
cool.
that's cool, man. Thank you so much, man. That was awesome.
See, that's a simple render cloud.
Yeah.
Now we have some kind of cortin. I don't know.
It's cool though, dude. It looks cool. I see
Yeah.
a map. I see a really cool map. But
Yeah, I see a map. I see, something from the 80s.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
actually
absolutely.
the stuff.
Nah, man, but I dig it, dude. Well, my mind's blown. I learned a lot.
So next week we talk a lot more than in Photoshop, right?
Yeah, next week it'll be all about Photoshop. And real quick, dude, thank you so much for showing me those techniques with the bitmap, turning it into halftone. I'm getting a lot of comments back there. They're liking that technique. It seems like a lot of people are blown away by the fact that you can change the color of a 1-bit bitmap in Illustrator. Like
Illustrator,
everybody
yeah.
was so excited about that because I threw it in as a bonus tip, and I started getting some comments right away like, "Oh, that bonus tip was so cool."
So cool, right?
So thank you for that. And I don't know if you saw,
Welcome.
man. A big deal for me this week was yesterday. Adobe Illustrator sent out a tweet. They retweeted one of my videos.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was so cool, man. On Twitter,
Oh,
they
cool.
They sent out a message with the video that I did on creating 3D balls. So like I did it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, the 3D balls. I remember that.
Yeah, so I did one technique using blends, which you, Michael, and John Harmon showed me about. So John came on and talked to me about blends one day. So I showed people how to do that, and then I also showed how to make a 3D ball using the 3D effect. And man, I woke up to a bunch of retweets for that, so I was really excited
Cool.
about that.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, man, I was so excited about that. So that made my
So
day.
for the next week, we create a bunch of stuff with Photoshop.
Yep.
I need to dig into my backup stuff to pull out some artworks that I create using these filters.
That'd be cool, man. That'd be cool. So check out that list. You'll see the ones that are highlighted. I'd love to know about any of the ones that are on the list, but the ones that are highlighted, those are ones that I know like the least about. So yeah,
Okay.
if you want to cover some of those, I'd love
That's
that.
right. That's right. Very cool.
Love it. All
Okay,
right, brother. Sorry, man. We're gonna go ahead and
let's
finish
go.
it
So
up.
grab some tacos.
Yeah, man, it's
No,
taco time.
not tacos for me.
Oh man, we're gonna have to fix that, bro. I'm telling you, dude. I can't wait for you to come. I have like 5 taco places we're gonna go to.
Oh man, yeah. But we need to go walking.
Yeah, we'll walk from one to the other to make to make room. All right, brother.
right.
All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, man. All right, let's get some tacos.
All right.
Peace.